Not here. Do-do. Hey, see if anyone's around. If they are, they can pop in. So I just wanted to. I'm bored basically, so I just want to do like a live chat. Talk about the grass court season, which has started the last couple of weeks. Watched Runa today play Maxime Cressy, and I thought for Runa it was his first grass court match actually, that he won today, and it was hey Sarah, how you doing? The Queen of Smut. Yeah, just wanted to talk about the grass court season. Yeah, so today I saw Holger Rune beat Maxime Cressy today. That was his first grass court win in his career, so his young career so far. And I thought, the first few games you could see Rune was just trying to figure out movement on the grass in a match situation, and I felt that he was struggling to find the little steps. But then, halfway through the first set, I think he was finding his feet on the grass, and he looked good. And to be honest, Cressy I think he served 13 double faults. That's a lot, and 10 aces, but that's a lot of double faults. So that was a lot of 3 points for Rune. But I was impressed with the way he played, and I liked the comments he had at the end of the match. He was basically spot on. He was asked how he's feeling on the grass, and he said, "Well, I don't love it yet, but I'm learning. I'm figuring it out. I feel like my game could be suited really well to this surface because I play aggressive. I like to come to net, which is very very much true. And I was very very impressed with his first match because I think he could do well on all surfaces. Rune. So that's Rune. So yeah, a good first win for him. I saw Sinner Gasquet. Sinner's been playing well already. He played last week as well. I can't remember which tournament it was, but it was a grass court event. He looked good. Yeah, I'll talk about Carlos as well. I just want to talk about Sinner, and then I'll talk about Alcaraz. Sinner's looking very comfortable on the grass. And Gasquet I thought he played a really good match. But Sinner was just brilliant. I mean, he played excellent tennis, and his coach Darren Cahill, obviously he's a really good coach. He's one of the best coaches I think that's out there, and I know Ciampini would probably agree with me on that. Darren Cahill is really good for Sinner, and I like the way Sinner was serving. I like the way he was returning, and I like the way Sinner was moving around the court, being aggressive, coming forwards. And he was probably the most impressive I've seen on the grass court out of Rune, Alcaraz, and Sinner. Sinner was very impressive today. Okay, Sarah, let's talk about Alcaraz. Same as Rune, started slow, lost the first set to not Dimonor. Who was he playing, for God's sake? Oh God, I can't believe it. Can't believe I can't remember. Oh, Rinda. What's his name? Come and help me out, Sarah. Rinda. Oh God, now I've got to look it up. Rinda. What was his name? Arthur. I can't pronounce his. Yeah, I have to look it up. Arthur. I'm sure it was Arthur Rinda. Okay, yeah, Arthur Rindered neck. Learning English with Darren now. Learning English with Darren. Arthur Rinderknecht. See, that's him. Yeah, so he his game is a grass court game. His game is brilliant for the grass. I was very impressed with the way he played on grass, and I think he shocked Alcaraz first set. Arthur was giving Alcaraz a lesson on grass on the first set. He played unbelievable, served brilliantly, was volleying amazing. I mean, like he was Roger Federer. Arthur, he was fantastic, brilliant. Alcaraz was, I think, he was a bit in shock because he was trying to find his feet and he was being rushed by Arthur. So call him wring his neck. Yeah, I like that. Arthur wring his neck. That's it. I like that. That's perfect, Sarah. Thank you. Arthur wring his neck. Played really well. And then second set, I think Carlos again was working out his tools and what he needed to do to combat this guy who's coming to net a lot. And I think he figured that out. And he was hitting some huge shots as usual, and figuring out his movement on court. Here's my issue with Alcaraz on grass. All right, because Alcaraz is so quick. He, in my opinion, he's the quickest off the mark. Right, he's so fast off the mark than the rest of the tour. I think he gets off so quickly. And the problem with, because I played on grass a lot, and I'm pretty quick. I'm nowhere near when I was Alcaraz's age, nowhere near as quick as him, but I was fairly nifty. And the problem is, if you move too quick on your first step on grass, you slip, so you can lose your footing. So that was my concern with Alcaraz, because he gets so hyped up. He wants to show his athleticism to his opponent, right? He wants to show his opponent how quick he is and stuff. But the problem in that is the grass court won't let him go off that quick, because you just lose your footing. And I thought at the beginning Alcaraz was struggling with that, but then second set he sort of figured it out. He started sort of not as quick, and then made sure he's got the traction, and then built up the speed, and really good sliding. Hi Max, how you doing, Max? Good, thanks for joining. But I was impressed. The halfway through the second set and the third set, Alcaraz really played some really good stuff, because Arthur wring his neck. He played a great match, and it got, it was down to the wire. It was down to the final set tiebreak, but Alcaraz just was clutch. I mean, he's such a clutch player, and he played some good stuff. And Arthur couldn't stay with him. Made a few errors here, little errors here and there. Dutchy, hey Dutchy, how are you? How are you going? Is it cold in Canada, Dutchy? Please tell me it's warm now in Canada, because it's been horrendous in Canada. It's been very cold. Every time I've spoke to you, you're like, it's so cold. It's minus 100. It's raining. Oh, okay. But is it warmer? Are you still having to wear coats and hats, Dutchy? We need some rain here, don't we, Sarah? Have you Sarah, did you get any thunderstorms in Manchester? Because we had one, and it wasn't all that, to be honest. It was all right, but we've had like one day of rain in about 3.5 weeks. It's been crazy. 9 Celsius. Oh man, it's still cold, Dutchy. Jeez. I mean, in England, it's been very nice. It's been 27 Celsius, 30 Celsius. Today, I think it was about 25, 24 Celsius. So it's been toasty. It's been very nice. Been very warm. Just came back from a walk in the rain. Haha. I wish it rained here a bit. Yeah, Darren, Sunday was bad. I mean, really bad. And today it has rained all day. Oh, sorry, Sarah. We were supposed to get rain today in Whittlesea, in Peterborough, but it just went over us and we got away with it. So I had to water the garden today. I thought I was going to get away with it, but no, I had to get the hose out. And I had to get my hose out, Sarah. I had to get my hose out, didn't I? I had to get out, I had to whip it, I had to whip my hose out, and I had to do all this in the garden because it didn't rain. Yeah, sometimes you just got to get a hose out, just got to get it out. Um, in Jasper, Alberta, it snowed. Really? Jeez, what is going on? It's June. Goodness. Do you ever get any yes, Sarah? Do you ever get any sunshine in Canada? I'm sure I've seen pictures of sunshine in Canada at some point. It's crazy. I couldn't do it. It's mountains, yeah. Well, usually, yeah. Usually it does snow. Right, back to grass court tennis. So Andy Murray was on court today playing de Minaur, the Demon. Andy played 2 challenges previously in the last couple of weeks, won both of them. I think it was Surbiton and Nottingham. Played really good, played really great. But I think today he was obviously going to be tired. Come on, he's played, I think he's on a 15-match winning streak or something. 2 back-to-back tournaments as well, which was 10-match winning streak. So he's bound to be tired. Plus, when you're tired, you don't want to be playing a player like de Minaur, who plays very well on the grass. And today, I felt like de Minaur played one of his best matches I've ever seen. I mean, he did nothing wrong. And I'm not even kidding. And I couldn't believe the speed gun on the serve. But de Minaur was serving 130-mile-an-hour serves. Even Murray was looking at the shot clock, the serve clock, and he was like, "Really?" He had to look at it twice. He couldn't believe it. He was serving huge, and Murray, it was even too hot for Murray. So, hats off to de Minaur. He played a great match, and he didn't let Murray in the match at all. I mean, he got totally wasted. But I think Murray, I think he'd be okay with that because he's had a lot of grass court matches. Hopefully, he will get a wild card at Wimbledon. He should do. I mean, it's Wimbledon, right? Why wouldn't you give him a wild card for Wimbledon? I'm sure he's going to get a wild card. But I think he was very close. I think if he won this match, he may have been seeded or something like that. Or yeah, he would have maybe not seeded, but he would have been in the draw. He would have had to play first round, but I think he would have been in the draw. Because he didn't win today, I think he's now going to be reliant on a wild card. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure they announce the wild cards tomorrow for Wimbledon, so that we'll know who's got the wild cards. Most of the wild cards are going to be for the Brits. Ben Shelton was very impressive, Max. I'll tell you, he was impressive. He looked good. I mean, I'm not sure. I won't swear to this, but it was either his first match on grass this year, for sure. I think he's definitely his first match on grass this year. I'm not sure how many matches he's played on grass, but if that was his first grass court match, he was very impressive. He looked really good. And I can't remember what the match is, but I think it's a good match next up for Ben Shelton. I can't remember. Is it de Minaur? I think he might be playing de Minaur. I'm not sure because that'll be good. That's going to be a good match otherwise. What did you think of the Brits yesterday? Are you talking about Sarah? Are you talking about the girls, or are you talking about Norrie? Oh, so Norrie looked good. Norrie's comfortable on the grass. So he looked very solid. I could see him getting to the quarters. Norrie, definitely. Yeah. I can't. What's the other guy's name? He's playing. Who's he playing tomorrow? Let me do my research. Bear with me. Let's have a look. ATP Tour done. Ryan, I know he's Ryan. Help me out, guys. Ryan is his first name. What's his second name? Ryan. I typed in Ryan and it's got Ryan Reynolds. No, it's not Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Gosling. No. If I put Ryan tennis player, Peniston, Ryan Peniston, and he is playing Holger Rune. Not, I think it's tomorrow actually. I think he's playing him tomorrow. That's going to be a great match because last year Ryan Peniston, who's a British player, beat Holger Rune in Eastbourne on the grass course. So I think that's going to be Peniston. So he's playing Rune tomorrow. That should be a cracker. But I think the difference, there's two differences. One is Rune is a different player than he was last year, 12 months ago, for sure. But the upside for Ryan Peniston is that he knows the grass court, and he did very well last year at Queen's. I think he got to the quarterfinals, if I'm correct, but he did very well. So it's a home court for him. He's going to have home crowd support, but I think it could be 3 sets. But I think Rune might get it. But I think it might be a close match. So that's why I'm looking forward to it, because I think it's going to be a battle. Yeah, it's old poor Ryan of his last name. Yeah, Ryan Peniston. It's it's a shame, isn't it? I bet. Can you imagine him at school, man? He would have. Yeah, that's a tough name. My surname's LeBeau. Okay, LeBeau. That's how it's pronounced. So at school, I used to get called LeBeau Peep, LeBeau and Arrow, LeBeau Tie, LeBeau Selector. Sarah knows that one. LeBeau Selector. That's quite cool. I like that one. So I used to get the Mickey taken out my name. It still hurts. It still hurts. It's fine. It's fine. LeBeau is way more better than Peniston. Yeah, exactly. So there we go. I could have been called Darren Peniston. Darren Peniston. You forgot to give a like, Dutchy. Come on. So did I, actually. So did I. Can I give a like to myself? Is that really? I can't even do it. I can't even give myself a like. I mean, that's just absurd. That's sad, isn't it? Yeah, I can't like it. That's fine. So yeah, so basically, it's all starting. And obviously Novak Djokovic, he's not playing any grass court lead-up tournaments. He's just going to go straight into Wimbledon, which is, I think he's done that before, and he still won Wimbledon. So that's not going to cause a problem. But I'm 100% sure he's practicing on grass court somewhere as we speak this week. So he'll be this week and next week practicing on the grass somewhere. He'll probably go to Wimbledon early as well. And I'm very excited because I know for a fact that Roger Federer will be going to Wimbledon, but not as a player. He will be commentating. I'm not sure who he'll be commentating with, but I'm sure we'll see him on maybe various sports platforms, probably BBC, probably what's it called? Not Tennis TV, the other one, Tennis Channel for America, ESPN probably. So he's going to be commentating, that's for sure. And I'm pretty sure that we'll see Roger in a match, maybe one match. It would be so nice. This would be my wish. If Federer is in the Raw box watching an Alcaraz match. I mean, you can't get better than that. Alcaraz playing on the centre court and Roger Federer in the raw box watching Alcaraz, because I know Alcaraz will love that. He will love it. And that will be a great thing to watch, because obviously we all know that Roger Federer is Alcaraz, his inspiration for his tennis, as well as Rafa. But he's made it clear that he loved the way Roger Federer played. And I do know he's been watching tapes of Federer's matches for the grass court seasons with Juan Carlos Ferrero. They've been watching tapes, especially the latter part of Federer's career when he actually came in, served and volleyed more. So I think you're going to see that more from Alcaraz, even though he doesn't need to do it as much because he moves exceptionally well from the baseline. But I think you're going to find he will come into net more and more. Maybe especially when he's ahead. I think if he's ahead in the sets, say if he's 4-1 up, he's going to try stuff. He's going to come to the net. He's going to be creative and stuff like that. So that would be my wish. Roger Federer in the raw box watching Alcaraz on centre court. That would be fantastic. I'd love that. Tennis Channel International. Yeah, maybe. He might be. Oh, thank you, Dutchy, for the like. Cheers. I can't keep up with the chat. It's so quick. The Princess of Wales should be at Wimbledon. Can't be asked with the royal family. Sorry, Dutchy. And I'm from the UK. I'm not a royalist. I don't believe in the royal family. I think personally, and I'll say this to anyone, we do not need a royal family. I don't think we need it. Get rid of them. You can turn Buckingham Palace into a homeless shelter for the thousands of people who are homeless, and then they've got somewhere to stay. That's what I think. And Sarah agrees with me. Thank you. Yeah, that's just the way things are, mate. With a lot of the UK now are like, well, we don't need it. We need a new government. Get rid of the royal family. Get real people in charge. Real people like me, who's going to help people like you, and not pretend to help people like you. But while I'm pretending, I'm putting all your taxpaying money in my pocket and spending it and giving it to my friends. Anyway, I'm not going to talk politics anymore because I get really back to the tennis. So I think Ciambini's in Berlin. I heard he's at the Berlin tournament, which is a women's WTA tournament, WTA 250, I believe, in Berlin. So yeah, I have to look out. He's only shared a few Instagram stuff, not much. So I'll have to look on his Instagram to see if he's updated any more stuff. Yeah, he's in Berlin. Yeah, that should be cool. That should be cool. I don't know if he's there with a player, maybe, or he's just there for, networking and watching the tennis. Yeah, Boris Johnson was ridiculed. Boris Johnson is a joke, Max. He's just a compulsive liar. He's been a compulsive liar all his life. And the public embraced him because they thought he was funny. That's why they voted for him, because he was funny, and the naivety to believe anything he says is true. I think it'd be a really great stand-up comedian, but but a politician, no. So he got what he deserved. Basically, this is what happens. What happens to people like Boris Johnson in the end? Karma just bites you in the butt. Sorry for the language. What language? What language, Sarah? I'm having a look. I can't see any language. You've been very good, Sarah. You're being good. Can't be funny when you're taking a serious position. You can. Boris Johnson just wings it. He just wings it. It's a bit like Trump. He just winged it, you know. He just played on. I'm a millionaire, billionaire businessman. I know business, and you know they're just all out for themselves. Why are we talking politics, guys? Why are you drawing me into these discussions? Because I will talk about it. I wonder how Mehdi will do with the grass courts. Oh my God! Did you see Mehdi's last match? He won, but he slipped. Did you see it? He was lucky, I tell you. He was running for a drop shot, and then he slipped, like groin strain slips, really nasty. Went like that with his leg, and he threw the racket. He had to through the racket because he was falling, and landed really hard. But he was okay. But Jesus, my God, you know, Mehdi's movement on a grass court is really tough because he's so long. He's got long legs. He's too long, in my opinion, to move around efficiently on a grass court, and that's why I don't think Mehdi's going to do well on grass, Max. I mentioned Mehdi Darren. Yeah, I know, because I saw that. Yeah, I was just responding to you, Max, about Medvedev. I don't think Medvedev's game is good enough for the movement on grass, especially the first week, because the first week of Wimbledon, the grass courts they're like ice. It's like moving around literally on ice because they're so. When the grass is new, because I've played on new grass, it's so difficult. You have to move with little stutter steps. You know, if you've ever looked at Roger Federer, if you've ever looked at Steffi Graf, if you look at their footwork on a grass court, you will understand why they've won it so many times, because they have exactly the correct footwork for grass court. They understand it's got to be the little adjustment steps. Medvedev's very sort of long legs, like a giraffe moving around. He moves great on a hard court. He moves brilliant. He's actually moving better on a clay court this year, much better. He's learning to slide better. Grass court though, no. Yeah, I just don't think he can rely on his serve, because his serve is going to be great on grass. The grass is too wet or moist, high risk for injury. Yes, and I've slipped on a grass court, and you don't see it coming. It's sometimes it's, you know, and I think it happened to a player today. I can't remember who it was. It happened to Arthur Ringisneck. So he was in a ready position, ready to return the serve of Rune, and then he split steps, and then his left leg, or his right leg, sorry, just slid, and then he almost did the splits, and that's scary because it's like comes from nowhere. So you have to be so careful on the grass, so careful. Mehdi lost in the first round of the French Open. Yeah, that was a shame, because that was a real shame, because Mehdi, I think he did well. I'm not sure if it was Rome. Someone can correct me on this. I think he played very well in Rome. I can't remember if it was Madrid or Barcelona. He also played pretty well. He won a title. What the hell did he win? Anyone know? So Medvedev won a clay court title, I'm sure, this year, but I can't remember where. He won Rome. Thank you, Max. Yeah, I knew he won one title, and that is incredible. Incredible. I remember everyone was saying after he won Rome, Mehdi's going to win the French Open. He's going to win the French Open numerous times, because he's now the king of clay. I thought it was great. Good for him, because he needed the confidence on clay, and he's got that now. So whenever he plays clay court tournaments, he's always got that now in his back pocket. I've won Rome, so I can win on a clay court. So that's good for him. But I don't think I remember at any stage in his career he's done really well on the grass. And he could prove me wrong, because he proved me wrong when he was on the clay. I thought he was going to be abysmal, but he won Rome, and that's not easy to do. Trust me. So, and he was beating really, really good players to win that. So I think he beat Zverev, and I think he beat Rune in the final, if my memory serves me well. Um, so yeah, I also thought that this is Max I'm reading. I also thought about that as well, but also had a feeling Medi wouldn't win the French Open. Yeah, I didn't think so. I thought he was. I honestly thought after winning Rome, I thought he might get maybe fourth round. That's definitely feasible for Medi because he was playing very well in Rome. But I tell you the difference between Rome and French Open. Two things. One, Rome clay is a bit faster um, than the clay in the French Open. The French Open this year, it was warm. I mean, it was really good weather. The problem with that is the clay is very dry. It's sort of dusty, and it plays faster. Okay, because of there's no damp conditions. I think there was more damp conditions in Rome, definitely, than the French. So I think the speed of the surface was a bit tougher for Medi, even though he plays on hard courts. But I just think you've got to react quicker on the clay if the ball's faster. And because Medvedev's footwork on clay is not the same as his footwork on a hard court, I think that's why he struggled. But I thought he played a good match. I think it was close. I don't think he got brutalized. I'm not sure, but losing first round, I think it was tough. And I can't remember who he was playing, but he was obviously playing someone who's better on clay than him. Darren, do you see anyone other than Nole winning Wimbledon this year? Good question. Thank you, Sarah. Let me have a think. Who is going to upset Nole? Well, it's not going to be Kyrgios, because Kyrgios, unfortunately, is he pulled out. I think he's pulled out of 2 tournaments recently, so he's injured. I think it's his knee. He's having trouble with. So I don't think we're going to see like we did last year, where Kyrgios just played really great. Because if he was physically fit and he played a couple of lead-up tournaments, I would favour him to give Novak a good old, good try. He's got potential to win it, but I don't see that. The only person who can stand in Novak's way, in my opinion, are 3 people. That's Rune, Alcaraz, and Sinner. But they haven't played much on grass. Sinner has played more grass court tournaments than Rune has, and Alcaraz, obviously. And I think, if I remember rightly, Sinner played Djokovic last year and gave him a great match. It was a very, very close match. I think Novak won it in the end. But I think Yannick Sinner was bossing Novak for maybe 2 sets. And then Novak woke up and then started to play really great. And I think Sinner was maybe doubting himself a bit, as he does sometimes. But I would say Sinner is going to be the only player at the moment that I can see that can possibly have an upset with Novak. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I'm not counting Novak out. Obviously, he's heavy favourite. He's heavy favourite. But yeah, I think Sinner is the one I would say that could cause Novak a problem, especially if they meet maybe quarterfinal, 4th round. I mean, I don't think that might not happen, but if Novak meets Sinner 4th round quarters, I think Sinner's got a chance. But I think if it gets too far and Sinner has to play Novak in a semi-final or a final, I think Novak will win, because he's just so clutch, And I don't think Sinner has that experience yet, playing Grand Slam semis, Grand Slam finals, and we know. I don't know how many finals. Is it 36 finals Novak's played? Grand Slam finals, 123 of them. It's crazy. I'm hoping Novak will lose Wimbledon, does she? Yeah, do you know what? I don't hope for anyone to lose. I think if you win, you win, you win it, and deservedly so. So I always say, let the best person win. The best woman wins. The best man wins. Whoever wins that trophy, they've earned it. Um, and I always say hats off because it's not easy to win these Grand Slams. Obviously, I will be shouting for Alcaraz because I would love Alcaraz to win Wimbledon because he's my man. He's my boy. He's my boy. I shouldn't do that actually. That's Sarah will tell me off for doing that. Sorry. Looks bad. Someone else that never won a slam should win. Yeah, Sinner. I think Sinner. I think Sinner deserves a slam. Honestly, I think he does. Um, I'm not sure about Zverev. I'm not sure about how Zverev will come on the grass because he hasn't had great results on the grass course, as far as I know. I think he's had one win on grass, or he. I remember he was in the final of Halle, but I think he lost. He lost to Federer. I think Federer beat him. Um, I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure of that. But I'm not sure if Zverev's won a grass court tournament at all. I have to check that. If he's won a grass court tournament, He's only won one. I can't. But I don't think he has. I can't remember if he's won or not. Casper. Now Casper. We haven't talked about Casper Ruud. I haven't. Have I seen him play a grass court match this year yet? I think I might have. Casper Ruud. He has a great game. Okay. His game, I would say, would work on the grass court. My only issue with Ruud is he's not the greatest at coming to net. All right, so Ruud will mostly win his matches from the back of the court. That's how he likes to do his tennis. He reminds me of Thiem. It's like a two-handed Dominic Thiem. Is Casper Ruud? He plays that kind of tennis, very 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 aggressive, but from the back. But with Casper Ruud, I think there's levels and elements and tools that he doesn't quite have yet. That the players I've just talked about, Rune, Sinner, Alcaraz. For me, they've got all the tools, and I think Casper has great tools. He doesn't have all of the tools, so he doesn't have a lot of options. He's got his game, and if that's not working, then he's stuffed. Really, I think with the other guys I've talked about, if they've got levels they can go to. It's like Novak. You talk about Novak on levels. He's got so many levels he can go to. If this is not working, then he'll try this, and then he'll try. They've got so many levels, and that's what makes the difference between the greatest players and the good players. Okay, and I firmly believe Rune, Sinner, Alcaraz, they have it. They have it. It's just experience now. It's just they need matches on these big matches. The more big matches they have, then the more experience they have and the more confidence they will have. And as I say, those three will be dominating the game for the next 10 years or more. So Djokovic has probably got a couple, maybe 3 more years left, I would say, depending if the body holds up. So far, so good. But I think Novak is realizing now that the body is starting to not do what it used to be able to do. It's now harder work. It's not coming as easy. He's having to work a lot harder. So, yeah. So let me keep up with the chat. What are your thoughts on Iga playing on the grass courts? Iga last year, she lost to Elise Cornet from France. And that was a shock because she was on that. Do you remember? She was on that match winning streak. She got a record amount of matches on winning streak. I think she holds the record. And I think when she came into Wimbledon last year, she was playing amazing tennis. I mean, no one could touch her. She was unbeatable. on any surface. She was just unbeatable. She just won the French Open last year, and she played a terrible match. It was terrible. She was just flat. She was completely flat. It's like she had nothing, no energy, nothing left. It was like she hit the peak, and then she just went woo in that match. And Cornet played well, but yeah, Iga just, it was enough. This year's it's going to be different because I think, yeah, Iga's won the French Open, but she's not. She's recovering and resting. She's probably practicing on grass again as we speak now, but I think she's taking a bit more time now to recover, ready for Wimbledon. So I think she's going to be in a better place physically than she was last year. Last year, she had to be absolutely shattered because all the tournaments she won, back-to-back tournament after tournament, she was winning. It was unbelievable. She was absolutely dominant. But this year, she's been quite dominant, but she's had, a couple of final losses, a couple of semi-final losses to, Sabalenka or Rybakina. So yeah, Rybakina as well on the grass last year, she won. We know she can play on this surface. I mean, she played unbelievable last year. Can she back it up? Sabalenka, she can play well on the grass as well. I think she got to quarters, maybe, or semis. So she can play on the grass. She's got a great grass court game as well. So I'm looking forward to those three. Iga, Rybakina, Sabalenka, battling it out for the Wimbledon title. Ons Jabeur as well. I would love Ons Jabeur to win Wimbledon. Can I get an amen for that? Can I get an amen? Ons Jabeur, come on. I'd love her to win one Grand Slam, and I'd love her to win at Wimbledon. Yeah, Rybakina and beat Iga in Wimbledon. Rybakina and Sabalenka can beat Iga at Wimbledon, yes. But as I say, we haven't seen Iga. Well, I can't remember seeing a refreshed, ready to go Iga at the start of Wimbledon, because especially last year, if you base it on the amount of matches she played on the run up to Wimbledon, she just played too much tennis. Her body was done. She needed to go to the beach and relax. She was just gone. But I think this year is going to be different. I think she's going to be ready. And let's not forget, she's won US Open. Yes. She's won Australian. No, she didn't win. She hasn't won Australian Open yet. She's won US Open. And she's won 3 French. Yes. Yeah. So because she's got 4 Grand Slams. So the only 2 Grand Slams she hasn't won is Australian Open and Wimbledon. So she'd be wanting to have the full set of slams. So she's going to be fighting for it. Trust me. But it'd be interesting. But I think she's got a shot. But it's not going to be easy against Rybakina. Agreed. Not going to be easy against Sabalenka. They're going to be tough matches. I mean, and it's going to be close. Whoever plays each other, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be epic. It's not going to be easy. Well, talking of which, Venus Williams, 43 years old, won a match yesterday against Georgie. Amazing. I couldn't believe it. I've got a power cut. How have I got a power cut? What is going on? Bear with me. It's hilarious. Any of these back? I don't know. My lights just went out. That's so spooky. I'm here on my own, and the light just switched itself off. No. Twilight Zone. That's crazy. I'll be honest. I'm a little bit scared, to be honest. That's mad. That's never happened. Just switched off. Just went, no, switch off. Amen. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah. Let's have yeah, Iga lost to Cornet, yeah, last year, the French lady. Very experienced. As I say, Cornet played a good match, but Iga was toast. She had nothing left to give. Okay, that's all the light you can have for tonight. Yeah, that's your lot, mate. You've had too much light. Too much light, costing a fortune. Yeah, energy saving. It's the new thing. Save energy. Yeah. No, it actually, I thought it was a power cut, but it wasn't. It was just my lights just switched off all by themselves. They just went, nope. It just went like this. They just went, nope. That's my lamp. Just went like that. Crazy. I got a silly spam call. What, really, Dutchy? Who was giving you a silly spam call? Who was that? Who gave you a spam call? Wasn't me. Was it KFC again? McDonald's? Who was it? Yeah, don't say that, Sarah. Don't say that. That would freak me out. If you saw like a shadow go past or something like that. Whoa! Man, that's scary. Just a stupid company. Stupid company, yeah? Yeah, just ignore them things, man. Yeah, I ignore them. That's why I have a spam inbox. All the spam goes in there. Yeah, Sarah, Sarah, not funny. Swear, if that vase starts floating around like that, tell me, yeah, it starts floating around the room, I'm really gonna freak out. That light goes off again, honestly, I'm gonna freak. It's hilarious. Anyway, we're talking about tennis, aren't we? Supposed to be. I don't know. Talking about politics, power cuts, well, ghosts. A little bit scared. So, checking that vase isn't going to move. So, okay, so I've given my opinions on the grass court. So, obviously, we've got the big three in the women. We've got the big three, the big new three in the men, plus Novak, obviously established. Is there anyone you think in the women's? Because I said Ons Jabeur, she's got to be up there as well with Rybakina, Sabalenka, and Iga. Is there like a sort of an outside option in the women's and an outside option in the men's that you think could do some stuff this year? Because I think personally, I think it's going to be, as I say, the three girls plus Ons Jabeur, the three young lads plus Novak. They're going to be one of those. Going to be the champion. I don't really follow the women. Well, why not, Sarah? Why? Why not follow the women? You should follow the women. Follow the women. Follow the women. It's like the little sign. Women, follow them. Follow the women. Follow the women. We follow the women. Follow the women. Oh, got a puncher. Hold on. There we go. I can't think of anyone. Well, you guys, come on. Can't think of anyone? Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because it's like it is tricky because you know that you've got 4 in the women, 4 in the men, and they're obviously going to be, doing some stuff. I mean, also you could throw Cam Norrie in there as well for me because he's a nightmare. Manarino, he's a nightmare to play on the grass courts because he's very tricky. Gasquet's been playing well, but as I say, Sinner played unbelievable against Gasquet, and Gasquet played a good match today. Because, Darren, I enjoy watching the men more. Yeah, I wonder why. Wonder why, Sarah? Yeah, because I'm a perv. Yeah. Oh, well, I like watching the women. because I like their technique. That's why. Nothing to do with anything else. Banks of rice. I'm blushing now. Look, I'm actually blushing. This is not fun. Sarah, you made me blush again. There we go. Just put some cold water on my face. Do you reckon I should do a Mohican, guys? Like, shave all this and just have this bit. What do you think? Is that a look? Does that look scary? That looks scary though, doesn't it? And if anyone thinks I just look like a monkey, you're probably right. Or a coconut. No, I look like a coconut. I look like Mr. T from the A-Team. You fool. Damn you fool. Whatever he says. With the chains. Yeah, it's not a good look. My hair's at a stage now where it's growing, but it needs to, I need to shave the sides and have, you know, at the moment it's growing out like monkey style. Monkey face. Yeah. I pity the fool. That's it. That is it. You got it, Sarah. I pity the fool. Pity the fool. A-Team. Sorry. A lot of you probably don't even remember the A-Team, except for maybe, well, obviously me and Sarah do. Do you remember the characters? Got Face. It's one of them. Oh. What was the crazy guy? Trash cans. Oh my God, my memory's so bad. Hannibal Smith. Yeah, he was the guy in charge. Dutch, you remember the A-Team as well? Cool. So I got Face, I got Hannibal Smith, Mr. T, and one more. The guy with the cap. He used to ride the helicopters a lot, and he was crazy. Come on, Sarah, you know this. Who is it? What's his name? It's in there somewhere, but I can't remember it. We are the same age, Darren. Yes, I know that. But you look a lot younger than me, Sarah. Oh, Dutchie, you're the same age. Dutchie, how old are you? Because I'm 52. I thought Dutchie was younger than me. No, really? Wow. 52. Damn. Dutchie, me and you together, we will be 104 years old. 75-year-old knees. Yeah, I know that, Dutchie. I know that feeling. Yeah, I've had 2 knee surgeries, which has saved me, honestly. Murdoch, Sarah, you've won. Murdoch, Mad Murdoch. Why didn't I not remember that? Mad Murdoch. Yeah, that was the theme song. I used to like Knight Rider. Who remembers Knight Rider? Michael Knight. Kit. I used to love that show. Loved it. I used to love, what was that? When I was young, it was the $6 Million Man, Steve Austin, the Bionic Man. And my favorite, and I don't know why it was my favorite, was Wonder Woman. Do 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 Wonder Woman. She was like this. Wonder Woman. And then she was Wonder Woman. And I was like, wow. Wow. I was like, wow. It's like the first time I've ever seen a woman. I was like, wow. Used to love. Yeah, Lee Majors. And what was the other one? The Fall Guy. Lee Majors is in The Fall Guy. I used to like that as well. Very huge in Germany. Yeah. Definitely. David Hasselhoff was huge in Germany. Huge. He was, you know, huge around the world, but he was like a god. And he still is, I think. I remember when the Berlin Wall came down. I don't know if you remember that. When the Berlin Wall came down, David Hasselhoff was there singing a song that he wrote called Freedom, and he was singing that, and while they were taking the wall down. It's amazing, amazing. Yeah, he's still huge in Germany. You know what? I always think that I don't. It's just me probably. If you look at Alexander Zverev, okay, you look at Alexander Zverev's face, the way his face is, and then you put it next to David Hasselhoff when he was in Knight Rider when he was younger. There's certain things about Zverev's face and David Hasselhoff's face that are very similar to me. Maybe it's just me. But I think that if you check it out, look at Zverev, look at David Hasselhoff, Google them, and you look at their faces. There's something quite similar. And I know they're both German, which helps. What else? What else? I remember Wonder Woman. Yeah, I remember. You wonder why I like the show? I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know why I liked Wonder Woman. Just don't know. Maybe it's because of her invisible plane. Maybe that was what it was. Quite like the invisible plane. Got no idea. Yeah, I like the slow motion bits. And like all the like the shows in those days in the 70s, what would, like all the action was slow motion. Even the A-Team, like the car chase and the car goes and Dukes of Hazzard, all the slow motion. Knight Rider, Turbo Boost, Steve Austin running, and the Bionic Woman as well. All slow motion. And then Baywatch happened, and then we had bikinis and little shorts, slow motion. Love it. I love a good slow mo. Have you watched the films? Which films? The Wonder Woman films? It's not as good for me. It's not. Linda Carter. It's not. It's got to be Linda Carter. I'm sorry. No offense to the new one, the new Wonder Woman. I can't remember her name. She's very lovely, but she's not Linda Carter. She's not Linda Carter. I'm sorry. Linda Carter was stunning. I only watched 4 because of Chris Hemsworth. Oh, love Chris Hemsworth. He is fantastic. Have you seen Extraction 2? Because that's on Netflix now. That is if you like action movies, that is a proper action movie. Jeez, that was good. That was good to film. Music group Boney M is also from Germany. Really? I did not know that. Wow. Yeah, Boney M is my era. Daddy cool. Daddy. They were like disco. They had like reggae sort of in there as well. Boney M were huge pop group. Huge. I think I had one of their albums a long time ago. Joe is in the house. Joe! How you doing, Joe? Yeah, I was bored, so I thought I would talk about tennis, but it's gone from tennis to politics to power cuts. My lights just came off, Joe, and then I thought there was a ghost, and I was getting scared, and I was waiting for things like my vase. I thought my vase was going to sort of move around, and I was going to run and get scared and everything. Scary. And now we're talking about shows from the 70s and 80s that we used to watch. Well, I used to watch. So we've had a chat about everything, really. We've covered a lot. KFC potato chips. Yeah, we haven't talked about that, Dutchy. That's very important to talk about those. That's crazy. KFC making potato chips. I don't think I can get them in this country. I've not seen them. I was just setting the mood, Darren. Thank you, Joe. Yes, it's on the app I use. Also watched the new Little Mermaid. Was that good, Sarah? The Little Mermaid. Obviously, it's not my cup of tea. Not really my thing. I've never been like into Disney, that type of thing. I think I watched Bambi and cried, and that was it. I was not watching any more Disney things because it's so sad. And there you go. Come to Canada, Darren. Yeah. Do you know what? Canada, maple syrup, you can't beat it. Canadian maple syrup. Wow. Love it. It's just the best. And I've got a sweet tooth. I'm very naughty. But I love, that's it. Maple syrup is just amazing. Love it. I hope Emma Raducanu can play soon. Yeah. Do you know, with Emma, she's been very honest, I think, regards to her year. It's been a tough year. What I don't understand is this: if you look at the list of injuries she's had all year, all right, some of them are the same. So she's had a wrist injury which has come and gone. It's obviously not healed. I believe she's had her surgery for it now. So, but she's had back issues. She's had cramp. She's had so many different things. A bad leg. It's one thing after another. She's got rid of 5 coaches, I believe, since the US Open. 5 coaches. What? I mean, it's crazy. So I do hope when she does come back, she gets a coach, and she gets a coach that that they're on the same wavelength, they're on the same page, and she sticks with that coach no matter what happens to results. If she loses first round, she's got to understand the process. It will take time. There needs to be a relationship. You can't have 5 coaches. You're not going to do well if you have 5 coaches in a year, in just over a year. You can't expect to have your team. It's not just about you. You have to have the team, and you and the team will grow. You will become a unit, and you need to stick with it. You need to go, right, I'm going to stick with this. If you say to yourself, I'm going to have a coach, and I'm going to have this coach. If I choose this coach, I'm going to stick with this coach for a year. I guarantee you that Emma Raducanu will have better results. I just think there's been too much happening, too much, sponsorship deals, which is great. I think it's fantastic, but these things are they're getting in the way of the tennis for me. There's too much of it. So everyone wanted a piece of Emma. We want Emma for our brand. We want her to advertise our brand. We want this. We want this. Too much distractions. If you look at Iga, she won't do much in regards to advertising and stuff. She has her sponsors, but she has a level of how many sponsorships she has. But Raducanu was having everything, mate. It's crazy stuff, hair products and jewelry, and too much. I mean, it's all money, but if that's what you want, then don't expect to win any more Grand Slam tournaments. You have to be more single-minded and say, well, what's the most important thing here? Is it money, or is it winning? Because I don't think she's been in the right headspace regards to having a consistency that she needs on the tour. Maybe I'm being unfair because she's young, but she can still turn it around. I just think there needs to be some drastic changes regards to coaching team. She needs to stick with the coaching team that she chooses and just give it more of a chance. And she needs to make more decisions herself, because I think her family, especially her dad, I think he's running things like her agent. He's running things too much. And I think that might be not great. She needs to make a little bit more decisions on the tennis. She has issues, in my opinion. Yeah, I think that's it. I think the issues I described is too many distractions, off-court distractions. You're going to have that, but I think she, because she won the US Open, she was pushed into the limelight so quickly, and everything was new. And I think this year it's the pressure's got to her. I mean, look at Alcaraz when he played Novak Djokovic. He was very honest about it. He said, I got cramp because my expectations were too high, because I wanted to beat Djokovic, and I wanted to win the French. And his expectations are so much, his adrenaline levels went so high for that match that it affected him physically. And he learned from that. And he will learn from that. So when he's in that situation again, he needs to now lower the expectations to just play. Just play. Because that's what happens. That's what can happen. If you have too much adrenaline running through your body, you can cramp. And yeah, mental stress, exactly. I just think he put too much expectation on himself, which you have to a point. But I think it was way too much. He put everything on his shoulders, and that was affecting himself physically, and that's why he got cramp in the third set, which was a shame because he played amazing second set against Novak. Because Novak came out, he wasn't messing around. Novak first set was incredible from Novak, and Alcaraz was like, okay, I'm playing Novak. I'm playing Novak, proper Novak. He knew he had to step it up, and he did. But unfortunately, the adrenaline got to his muscles big time. She's got Kyrgios disease. Who's got Kyrgios disease? I love UK merit. I love all these different subjects. I can't keep up with the chat. Yes, dairy milk chocolate in the UK. Do you know, I'll be honest, and Sarah will agree with me on this because she's from the UK as well. Back in the day, UK chocolate was the best, okay? But over the last, I would say, 7 years, it's not as good. And I'll tell you why. Because dairy milk chocolate, Cadbury's, we've got Cadbury's, which is mainly the main UK chocolate, was bought by an American company. I think they're called Kraft, and it's not the same. It's not the same anymore. And the bars are like, I used to buy a bar of chocolate like that, and it'll be like let's have it for instance, Cadbury's Boost. Okay, for instance, Cadbury's Boost, and the bar will be like this big, yeah. Now they're about this big, and they cost so much more as well. It's unbelievable. I mean, when I was a kid, I could have like £1, right? And I'd have so many sweets. It's unbelievable. Now, if you got £1, you're just about to buy one chocolate bar with that. It's madness. Madness. Yeah. But you're right. I do prefer our chocolate to like Hershey's. It's just not chocolate. It's just not. It tastes there's too much cocoa powder in it. If you know what I mean. It's just it's not the same. It's not the same as our chocolate. You know the best chocolate? Swiss chocolates. Can't beat Swiss chocolates. If you have a Cadbury's chocolate and then you have a Swiss chocolate, they're the best. Like Lindor. Love Lindors. Love them. I do like Maltesers. Hanzo who likes Maltesers. I like Maltesers. I could eat a whole box of them. Easy. Easy. Love Maltesers. Love Maltesers. I'm probably the only person I know that likes Bounty. It's chocolate, but it's like coconut in it. And I know a lot of people hate, for some reason, they can't stand Bounties. So like you get a box we get a box of what's called Celebrations, like a tin, plastic tin. It's got all different Cadbury's chocolates in it. Oh no, it's Mars actually. Mars is the company, and they all different chocolates. And most people will eat all the chocolates and leave the Bounties, not eat them. What a waste! I'll eat them. You like Bounty, Sarah? Yes, I found someone else that likes Bounties. I love Bounties. I think they're fantastic. Excuse me. I love it. I have Coffee Crisp here. Oh, we used to have that, like a Coffee Crisp, but it was like Sarah might remember this. I haven't seen it for a while. There used to be a chocolate called Walnut Whip. I used to like it. And it was like a weird thing. It was like a whip of chocolate. And then on the top, there was like a nut. What kind of nut was it? Well, like a walnut. That's why it's called a walnut whip, Darren. Walnut whip. So it was a whip of chocolate. And inside the chocolate was like marshmallow. And then on top, it had like a walnut. And I think we had a coffee crisp one as well. Yes, Sarah remembers. I haven't seen them. I tell you what I like as well. We have in this country, there's a company called Fry's, and Fry's Turkish Delight. Love it. Love that chocolate. Fry's Turkish Delight. And they do like a chocolate cream, like a little chocolate cream one. Mint, there's a mint one as well. I think, yeah, something like that. They're quite nice. Fry's chocolate. They're a nice chocolate. Wow, we've covered a lot of things today. I knew we'd talk about food. If Dutchy is in the chat, we're talking food here. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. We could talk about tennis, politics. We could talk about ghosts and spirits. We can talk about the meaning of life. But then Dutchy comes in and we end up talking about food. It's so funny. It's true. Every time. Okay, stop now because I'm feeling old. Fry's chocolate. Sarah, we're not old. We're not old. We just know when things were good. That's all that means. We remember when things were good. We lived it. Yeah, we used to go out on our bikes and climb trees. Right, when we were young, it was great. We had a good time when we were young. I feel sorry for the youngsters nowadays. 80s kids, yeah, man. We had time of our lives, mate. When we were kids, not a care in the world. We had milk floats when I was little. Milkmen used to deliver the milk, and we used to chase the milk floats with the bikes. And we used to pretend on our BMXs, we used to pretend we were like the police or something. There was a program called Chips in the 70s, where it was an American show, and there was two policemen on bikes. I used to love that show. I don't know why. Chips. And we used to pretend that we were the policemen on the bikes, and we used to chase the milk floats all around the estate. Great times. I hit my head so many times as a kid. I just got up and carried on. Exactly. Yeah, there was no health and safety. There was no health and safety when I was a kid. We used to shoot fireworks out of scaffold poles at each other. I mean, that's crazy. That's where I come from. I come from the hood. I come from the hood in the UK. When I originally grew up, I lived in a place called Southall, and I lived in a place called Norfolk. And Southall, when I was growing up in the 80s, was rough. It's like probably like Birmingham is, Birmingham, places like that now. It's quite rough. So yeah, we used to, so we didn't care. Yeah, little scaffold poles like that, and we used to put the fireworks in it, light it, and then shoot it, bazookas at each other. We didn't care. We wouldn't get away with that now. We get arrested. So we went in when the street lights came on. Yeah. Our parents just went, we're going out, Mum. See you later. We used to go out until it got dark, and then we just used to come in. And yeah, no one came looking for us. We just stayed out all day. Brilliant. And all the kids now, they're just inside too much playing computer games. These VR things. I mean, they're great, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah, we had a good. That's what I'm saying. We're not old, Sarah. We just know how good it was back in the day, and I wouldn't swap it for the world. I'm so glad I lived in the 80s, because the 80s were fantastic in a lot of ways. Music was great. It was just great. And the 90s as well, to be fair. Some of the 90s, I loved the 90s as well. Yeah, we had a good couple of decades there. I love Scottish snowballs from Lee's, Scotland. Scottish snowballs. Scottish snowballs? Are they like the coconut ones with the... What are they called? I know what you mean, because they're quite nice. We used to get like penny sweets where they were little balls of chocolate, but they were coconut, and they had like little sprinkles on it. Marshmallow coconut. Yeah, I remember those. We used to have like marshmallow coconut biscuits. Do you remember those, Sarah? Can't remember what they were, but you used to have like a jam as well. It was like a biscuit, and they had coconut on the top, but then they drizzled like strawberry or something on the. They were nice. I remember them, but I can't remember what they were called. Darren, they are called snowballs. Oh, they are called snowballs. Well, there you go. I've learned something. I can't remember. I just ate them. I was just like, oh, don't know what they're called, but they're nice. So love it. I tell you what I liked. I did like I think when I was a kid I used to like what was it called? Oh God. Dip and dab. Did you have dip and dab? It's like sherbet. It's crazy. It's like a bag. You have a bag. It's called dip and dab, and in the bag is sherbet. And you open the bag up, and there's like licorice, like black licorice. And you used to lick the licorice on the end, and then you used to dip it into the sherbet and eat it. Remember that? Dip and dab. Yes, Sarah. Dip and dab. So like that. We used to have like really cool sweets. They're called retro now. Retro sweets. Would you like some retro sweets? Yeah. They came in a blue package from Scotland. Yeah, I don't know exactly the Scottish ones. I know we had snowballs because they used to be like in a jar in the sweet shop. Because in the sweet shops in the UK, we used to have like loads of little jars, well, big jars actually, of different sweets, and we used to call them penny sweets. So you get a penny sweet, you get a two penny sweet, and then you used to get all your changes, your pocket money that we used to get, and we used to like choose, like pick a mix. Yeah, we used to have a store called Woolworths, and that was famous because it had a pick a mix. And you could go there and you could just fill up a bag of sweets, and then you put it on the scales. When you put it on the scales, it weighs it, and it shows you how much it is, and it will like cost like 10p or something, and you get like a whole bag of sweets. Those were the days. Blackjacks, yeah, blackjacks, man. They used to make your tongue all black and crazy. Blackjacks, remember them? Rhubarb and custard. There was a cartoon, but then that wasn't. There was a sweet called rhubarb and custard because it had rhubarb and custard flavour mixed together. They were quite nice. I will post a picture on Shambini's Discord for you, Darren. Post a picture of what? The snowballs? Yeah, go for it. Mr. Ben. Mr. Ben. Only me and Sarah know who Mr. Ben is. That is going back a bit. Did he used to go to he used to go in a wardrobe, didn't he? Or was it or in a shop or something? He used to go into the shop, and then he used to go into the changing rooms, and then when he came out of the changing rooms, he was dressed as something like a pharaoh or a king, and then the whole Mr. Ben episode would be in a shop, and then Mr. Ben will be King Ben for the day or something like that. Yeah, good show that was, Mr. Ben. I can't remember the theme tune. I'm usually very good in theme tunes. Mr. Ben. Let's think of that one. Mr. Ben theme tune. Can't remember it. But it was a good theme tune. Very good. Yeah. So what's left? So I'm looking forward to day 2 tomorrow at Queen's. Should be good. I'm very excited because on the 2nd of July, I'm going to the ACEFI Cup. Thanks to Shambini because I won the competition. I think I won it because I was the only one who could make it. No one else would probably get there because a lot of people were in Germany and stuff, so they couldn't come to England. So he knew that I would definitely go because it's not far from me. So I'm going to the ACEFI Cup, which is not far from Wimbledon. It's in a place called Parsons Green near Wandsworth, where my friend lives. And it's like a charity event on a Sunday. We've got Xavier Malice against oh god, I can't think today. The Greek player Bagdatis. Jesus Christ, Bagdatis. I'm getting old. My memory's going. So they're going to play an exhibition match. But the amazing thing about it is I've got it's an all package. So basically, when I get there, I'm going to an auction. So there's going to be an auction there where they auction off things for charity. Then I'm going to have a 4-course meal. Oh yes, they've got a big marquee there. I'm going to be sitting there. I'm going to have some serious food, Dutchy. I'm going to eat big time. Going to have it. Whatever's there. I'm looking forward to that 4-course meal. And then I'm going to have an hour coaching session with none other than ex-British doubles player #1, Joe Salisbury. Joe Salisbury. I'm going to be volleying with Joe Salisbury. That I'm looking forward to. And I'm going to ask permission if I can film it. So I'm going to hopefully set up a camera in the corner like I do in my tennis and film me. And if everyone else is happy for it to be filmed and stuff, obviously, then I'm going to try and film that coaching session. That's going to be cool, man. That's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. I hope I pass him. That would be, mate, swear to God, that's going to be a video. If I pass Joe Salisbury at the net, it's going to be me passing Joe at the net, and then it's going to be little me going like this. It's the passing. It's the passing. That's going to be great. I so want to pass his ass. I hope he lobs me, because Joe Salisbury, he can play a brilliant tweener. He's played a couple of amazing tweeners in his double matches on highlight reels. I've seen him. His tweener is curious. It's great. It's really good. And I love a tweener. So hopefully he lobs me, because if he lobs me, I'm going to tweener. I'm going to do it. I swear to God. If I miss it, I'll be gutted. But I'm going to go for it, because I've been practicing my tweeners recently, and they're feeling good. I'm confident. So yeah, that would be cool, man. The passing. Day 3 tomorrow. Yeah, it's day 3 already. I can't believe it. I always think it's day 2 because the big boys don't really start until day 2. But yeah, it's day 3 tomorrow. Jesus, unbelievable already. Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, Wednesday tomorrow. Day 3. So yeah, some great matches tomorrow. I haven't got the list in front of me because I'm completely unprepared. But I know tomorrow there is definitely some good matches for sure at Queen's. Not sure about Haller. I have to check that. But I'm sure there will be. But yeah, definitely looking forward to Rune against Ryan Beaniston. Ryan Beaniston against Holger Rune. Right, I'm going to go. Thank you ever so much for joining me, because I had a spare hour and I was checking in because we haven't, I haven't seen any streams or anyone. So I thought I'd stream and have a little chat myself to see if anyone's wants to have a little chat. So thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you, Dutchy. Thank you, Joe. Bless you. Thanks for joining, and I will speak to you soon. Maybe tomorrow after day 3, if you guys are around, I might do another one. So look out for me. It will probably be about 9 o'clock or something in the evening, something like that. I'll try and get it around about that time, and then if you're around, we can have a little chat about anything. Today we've talked about tennis, we've talked about politics, we talked about me being scared, we've talked about my hair, we've talked about me looking like a monkey, we talked about shows that we used to watch in the 70s and 80s, like Wonder Woman. No idea why I like that show. We've named all the A-team thanks to Sarah, and I can't remember what the last. Oh, Mad Murdoch. Yes, Murdoch. Yeah, Mad Murdoch. He had a first name, but I can't remember what it was. Murdoch. Yeah. So yeah, we talked about loads. We talked about food, Dutchy, haven't we? Talked about chocolate and snowballs from Scotland, which I didn't know. Anyway, love you, Lever. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Have a good evening. Sleep tight, and take care. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Enjoy the tennis if you're watching. Bye, guys. See ya.